Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here on the Backup channel, and we're going to do it. We are going to get into the actual documents that were released less than 24 hours ago. But before we get there, since we are live, I want to show everybody how we've gotten here. Now, the Dark Overlord group, number one, seems to be a legitimate hacking organization that's now been around for a few years. Their most notable hack, of course, being Netflix Studios, The Orange is the New Black, successfully extorting them, and then supposedly the production company started working with the FBI. They in turn released these episodes early anyway. Now, these are not hacktivists. These are not people that we should be looking up to. If that were the case, all of these documents would already be out there. They are motivated by finances, and I think that's pretty apparent by some of their past hacks. And I just want to show you this current one right here. Remember, these guys have been kicked off of just about every media platform, social media platform you can imagine. Now, they got on Steemit, and one of their blogs here is that they have hacked a London Bridge plastic surgery clinic, and they're basically going to be shilling out for nudes of celebrities before and after breast augmentation and other types of plastic surgery. Now, that should let you know right out of the gates that, again, they're not hacktivists, guys. They're not necessarily our friends. They are highest bidders. Now, I know there are some people out there, I'm not going to name names. I'm not here to talk smack, okay? But let's be honest, there are some people out there that are trying to promote this as some kind of a Trump magic moment, and that, this is him fighting the deep state. And this is all a cover. The Dark Overlord thing is a cover. This is a Trump op. No, it's not. If it was a Trump op, once again, it defies logic that these wouldn't just be dumped and released. Instead, we're playing this game where the media, the mainstream media in the United States, you're seeing it in some publications. You're seeing it a little bit in Forbes. Vice did a piece with the motherboard that was pretty a large piece. But you're not seeing it on ABC, NBC, CBS. In fact, RT is really the only network, and I would far from call that mainstream, especially in the United States, that has covered this, okay? So I'm looking at some of the comments. Super chat $100, please. We could use a $100 super chat. I'm not seeing it. And I'm pretty sure that this live stream got demonetized out of the gates. But like I said, we're going to show you some of these documents because they're not bluffing. We went over the 10.2 megabytes. We now have 650 megabytes worth of documents. And for those that don't know how to do this or don't believe me or don't think that these documents exist, I'm seeing that. People are actually saying things like that the documents don't exist and that this is all a hoax. In fact, we're going to get into the comment section of some of my videos, but here they are, right here. These are the checkpoint documents. You can see they're mostly Word, Excel, PowerPoint documentation. Here's layer 1 decrypted. You got to go through a couple folders. And then there you are. And these are legitimate. I have not come across one that is suspicious to me, okay? I'm seeing one CD's worth, but actually the layers are not built in that manner. There are some that are actually several gigs. I actually have those. In fact, in order to get these files, yes, I did use Veracrypt, which is an open source decryption and encryption software. Anybody can get it. I showed people how to get a cheap copy, a real copy of Microsoft Office, so they themselves can do what we are about to do. And again, guys, I realize it's Friday night, but this stuff is so important. This is groundbreaking stuff. And for only $12,000 in Bitcoin, we got that first layer. Now, they also released an analysis here. Now, I want to show you some of this because it is interesting. First of all, it's showing you some of the legal documentation. And then behind me, what you see is what they claimed. They claimed they had SSI documents. Those are, in fact, SSI material. It's security clearance that we don't seem to have, and there it is. Highly confidential. And this guy, Robert Camerado, From what I can tell from my research and just looking at these things, he seems to be a spokesman for the FAA, or somebody that was speaking on behalf of the FAA on one of these lawsuits. And what you're going to see as we scroll down here, there's his, again, SSI material. Here, let's zoom in on that. Get rid of my ugly mug. And you see Mr. Podesta here. Now, chances are that is Tony Podesta. Now, this seems to be the Misawa trial, because as I look through some of these documents and inside of the emails, because inside of the emails are a lot of attachments, what did I find? I found a bunch of documentation on the Misawa trial. For instance, I saw a document in which Misawa's lawyer was contesting the FBI's evidence because they were presenting conversations as evidence which were hearsay by hearsay. In other words, they were told to them by a roommate of Misawa from somebody else, and the lawyer was not able to cross-examine them. We're going to show you some of those in a moment as well. But once again, we've got documentation we've never seen from the quote-unquote 20th hijacker trial. And for those that you don't remember, Zacarias Misawa at one point was fitted with a stun belt in court. Let me repeat that again for you. It's a little unbelievable, right? But you're going to be able to look it up. Probably able to see a better video of it now than ever. He was fitted with a stun belt in court so that he would not be prone to outbursts. Can't make this stuff up. Can't make this stuff up. All right? So let's scroll down a little bit more. And this document here, and by the way, this is all available only on Steemit because the Dark Overlord has been banned from Twitter. Reddit, not available. Yes, they've taken them off Reddit. I'm going to get some of these conversations also on my latest video that are coming in the comment section because, I was wrong. I guess Vote still has it out there, but Vote, aside from allowing the quote-unquote Pizzagate or Pedogate information out there, really doesn't have a large following, at least that I know of. 4chan, 8chan, yes, they're open to this stuff, but even Pastebin is pulling their information. I was in touch with somebody who had uploaded most of this stuff to Google Drive. He said he started tweeting out links to it. They've been pulled. So if you want your main links, you're a little bit tech savvy, you got to go to steemit.com, get on the Dark Overlords page. They have for the, so without the encryption software, you can get most of the containers, okay? So excuse me for a moment, and we're going to get right here. So this right here is supposedly evidence of a phone conversation between, I believe it is Lee Hansen and his father, and describing that somebody had been stabbed up front. Now, it seems to me by looking at a lot of this stuff, and you'll see a lot of things being blacked out in these handling a hijacking. These are FAA documents, I believe. Here's the TSA redactions, okay? Sabotage threat. What do we got here? Concern for U.S. safety, traveling to the Middle East. Basically, a lot of this stuff is lie hop. Now, what you see here, and we're going to show you the bigger document here. This is after 9/11. And they're showing you in these things x-rays of ways to hide knives. Now, we've all heard box cutter, box cutter, box cutter. How you doing, Jesse? I'll get to that super chat in just a minute. Thank you so much for watching. But again, from what I've seen in a lot of these lawsuit papers, and there's a lot of documents, guys. We got to get them. First of all, give them to everybody. Give them to everybody you can because they can't get us all. And the idea that somehow I'm not supposed to show this, we shouldn't be watching this on YouTube, there are, legal issues, that's ridiculous. This is the largest tragedy. And the sole purpose for our supposed foreign and domestic policy today, whether it be in the Middle East or here at home with our police state. So the truth needs to come out, and there's no amount of classification that's going to stop me from talking about it. So again, going back to this document here, what this is somebody with a keychain with a small knife, right? So let me just find our Exhibit L. So after 9/11, they actually went through and showed you a lot of these things. For instance, an actual key with a small knife in it. You know, it's 5 inches altogether right there. And several of these devices, you know, sneaking them on a plane. But again, it doesn't seem that they have any evidence that anything was snuck onto the planes, as that is some of the defense that I'm reading. And there's tons, and I mean tons and tons and tons and tons of testimony that we have yet to see, period. I haven't gone through all these transcripts. The majority of these are transcripts indeed. But who knows what else they have? They said level after level after level after level after level, you know, 5 layers. This is the first one. It's going to get more and more damning. And I got to tell you, again, these documents look real, and it looks like they have been combed through. So does that lend credence to the idea that this is really just a cover operation and, you know, they're fighting back against the deep state? I'm sorry, I don't see the evidence there. Instead, what I see is an opportunistic hacker group with relevant information. But I think that the people that, you know, this is going to go against, they realize that, number one, there's absolutely no way that they will be able to cooperate with the hackers and have them not release it anyway, because they're going to have to cooperate with law enforcement, period. In fact, if it's so crooked, there may have to be new FBI and CIA investigations put into these things. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. Look at this. This is the belt buckle right here, the belt buckle knife. Interesting stuff. Man. A little pair of scissors. So, you know, some of these things go beyond ridiculous, but you got to remember there's a huge length of them. Look at all this. Bam, 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 bam. And this is one document. One document. We've got hundreds to go through today. And with that being said, I am going to go over to the Super Chat. Jesse Schmidt, one of our members over on the main page, and thank you so much for the Super Chat. I appreciate you covering this and breaking it all down. We'll have to watch the rest of your stream later, though. Just want to say hi, thanks. Thank you, man. I do appreciate that. Jesse's the man. And by the way, guys, again, Steam it. The Dark Overlord. Go there right now. You can get a lot of these containers. You can literally look at this stuff as we're doing it. Let's see what you find. Hundreds of pages in many of these documents. Right here, for instance, this is another, what we're looking at. Let's get it to about 125%. There we go. What we're looking at here are the people that were supposed to be guarding people security-wise at the airports. A lot of stuff redacted. Redacted. Look at these things. TSA redacted. Now, again, I'm not saying that this is the golden goose and this is it. We've done it. We're going to prove it. And what's really annoying to me is reading some of these things, ranging from it's all a hoax in the comment section to, you know, this is some kind of an Israeli operation, especially if it doesn't mention Israel at all. When yesterday, if you watched any of my videos, one of the documents we talk about is from November, right after the attacks, when they're doing a subrogate report. For those unfamiliar, that's an insurance report on what they're actually going to have to pay out on these claims. And one of the main speakers, the lead guy, was not only at the time doing airport security, but he was ex-Israeli intelligence. So already there's so much evidence, first of all, that this was an international intelligence operation with compartmentalization throughout, as I've shown a decade plus ago now in Fabled Enemies. If you haven't seen Fabled Enemies, free on YouTube, free online. I'm sure you can torrent it. I encourage you to watch it. It's going to give you a better perspective of what I believe is coming out of these documents. And, you know, with the Silverstein documents in particular, and with them suing some of the construction companies, saying it was their fault that the building fell in the way it did. Of course, those companies are going to do their own private investigations. And the real question is, are they going to present evidence that, you know, not only was it not their fault, but there was some kind of explosive device used, especially in Building 7. Time will tell. This is Layer 1. This was also, if you looked at those layers, The smallest in size, I think it was 650 megabytes, and when the rest of them are in several gigabytes, like 1.2, 3.1, 4, these are big, big files. So, with all that being said, let's read some of the comments here. I'm just going to rack that up quickly. And let's go here into some of the comments on the latest video. We want the latest comments. So where are they? Sort by newest first. There we go. I wouldn't give these a-holes a penny. If the law firm doesn't pay, they are not going to release these files unless the public pays. That sounds like a no-brainer for the law firm. Why pay the ransom if they aren't going to release the files? I'm sure they will be asking for way more money than the public likely has to give. Well, let's stop it right there. So they actually listed it. There's a price list out there. It's on heavy.com. And yeah, they're looking for millions of dollars in the upper echelons of these, but not like 10 million. I think it's like 1.5 million. Actually, let's go there. Let's figure out what the price range is for these things. And that's why I encourage everybody to go check out the Facebook page that I run over here at We Are Change. Got a lot of interesting stories all the time. And you're not going to see them in your feed, even if you have the like and you got to go there. It's almost like our website. Which we also need you to go to. So let's get down to the posts. And let's see. R. Kelly in the news, if you didn't see that yet. So where are we? I think it was right above that, right? Here we go. So the price list is as follows. Layer 1 has already been locked. I think that was about $12,000. Okay, and they said like 5 whatever Bitcoin. So let's see. So now, what is this? That was 1,000 on that. So here over at checkpoint 8, which we have not reached yet, is another $25,000. Layer 2, it will be at 50,000. Then 65,000 at checkpoint 9, 85,000 checkpoint 10. Then layer 3. 100K, 250, half a mil, 1 mil, 1.5, and really 2 million for all documents. 2 mil. Now, is this a quick extortion racket? Do they just have, layers 1 and 2? That's a possibility. And just like I've discussed before, there's also the possibility that, again, because they've contacted, if you read their press releases, they're telling politicians, government agencies, contact us. We're negotiable. If you just want certain documents, we'll clean them out for you. You can have those documents. Think about that. Now, that could easily let them edit documents, put documents in there, spread disinformation. All that stuff is possible. Once again, I have a real hard time believing that these are the superhero white hats in our government organization, or they would have just dumped the whole thing. They would have just dumped the whole thing. It would have been unignorable. And I think at some point, if these guys don't pay up or they work with law enforcement, I'm pretty shocked we're only on January 4th and the first layer is out. Maybe they're trying to ramp up the public opinion so they can get their ransom. But the bottom line is these documents, they're going to get verified. They really are. These are the real deal. And you know what? Let's read their message because I'm taking them at their word at this point, guys. This is the Dark Overlord here to deliver a message. This is a message for the nation state of the United States of America and the greater deep state. We're going to continue to bend you over a barrel and F you if our demands are not met. You know the score. Your censorship and fake news cover-ups won't silence this organization or its public support. You were warned. To all the other parties involved, airlines, litigation firms, investigation firms, FBI, TSA, FAA, banks, security companies, and more, we're going to burn you down unless you begin to play ball. This entire situation will soon become far more tragic to your survival. Make the right choice. We're peeling back these layers like an onion. No one can save you except for us. Pay the F up. Oh boy. So once again, I don't think they're bluffing. And you know, let's open some documents right here on air. I have actually, let's see, sorted some of these files already. So as I was telling you guys, here's some Misawa files, all right? So we have a look. Here's a transcript of the jury trial for Misawa. Let's get it just a little bit down there. Now, I'm wondering, I'll probably have to, in order to hit Control F here, to find the words stun. Let's see. Probably have to convert it. Yes. And yes, please, all pages. And as we wait for that, let's see what we got. Let's read some of your comments. Let's go. Over a barrel sounds like a British saying. Oh, only 5.5 mil from the public. Let's do it. No, Jesse, I think it's actually less than that, my man. It's actually, I think they'll release it all at 2. You know, I think that's as it goes along. They're not offering to help cover this up for money. They aren't with us. I want to say that they are not with us at all. At all. You know what? I'm going to check the word informant in a minute. That's probably a good one. Here we go. Page 849, 850. This is one of 4 transcripts, by the way, that are just in one email. Can you imagine how long it's going to take to pour over this stuff? It's going to take quite a bit, quite a while. I don't know if and how these guys could have poured over so much of this information without you know, keywords, search terms. Who knows how big this hacking organization is, how many people there are. I'm not a hacker. I don't have the inside scoop for you. I don't know how many people have this type of information, what kind of group. You know, it seems like they're misspelling certain words. Are they doing that on purpose? Or are they foreign? All right, so they found no matches for that. Okay, let's see. Informant. Nope. FBI? How about federal? Okay, there we go. Federal public defenders. Let's see. So here we go. This is a testimony from one of the FBI officers as a special agent. Let's see. Minneapolis field office. That's correct. Joint Terrorism Task Force. U.S. versus Misawa. Now, I think some of these may already be out in the public. I'm not sure to what capacity all the Misawa documents are out there. But again, when I told you that this was one of 4 documents, it's one of 4. And that's just one man's testimony. Let's think about that. What was that, an 800-page document, a 900-page document? And there's 4 of them? Over 4,000 pages of transcript material to go over? My God. So, you know, I'm hoping there's going to be some audio files in this dump as well. Here we have, I haven't dumped that in there. The UA, yeah, there was a bunch of those documents. Sorted files, 15. This is what we want. So let's go over and see what we got right out of layer 1. This is the first document in layer 1. It's tough. What is that? What are we looking at here? It's Office of the Senator Bill Frist. What's the date on this? October 11, 2001. So we're talking about the Southern District of New York has exclusive jurisdiction over any lawsuit by any party that arises in the crash of September 11th. So these are some lawsuit documents that are going over to Senator Frist. Man, the amount of litigation must be incredible. I couldn't open up the PTX files, which kind of stinks, but I'm pretty sure that these might be in relation to them as well. I mean, there's so many depositions. See, here's yet another deposition of, who is this, Christopher L Fernandez? Yes, and he is the witness, and what is his relation? They have a video operator as well. Man, and this was taken from January 16th, 2007. So we have years upon years upon years of litigation. And again, I don't know how I'm going to tackle all this stuff. I mean, are you guys looking at how big these folders are and what's in them? You know, this is, let's just scroll right down. Meow. You know, and some of these files are, you know, a little bit bigger as well. Like, let's just take a look at this one. Caught my eye for a second. More litigation. And this is Nydia Gonzalez, and this is, again, confidential. And this is New York State Court. Again, this is March 1st, 2007. So, once again, let's see. Let's scroll right down over here. So it looks like she was an American Airlines worker, from what I'm seeing. In this case, man, so much stuff to go over. Guys, I think I am going to end the broadcast, but before I do, again, I want people to realize that this doesn't look like it's the deep state versus Trump. This doesn't look like a Trump operation to me. This doesn't look like an intel operation. This looks like real hackers really getting this and really looking to get paid. I'm just praying that somehow these come out, whether they get paid or not. Obviously, I don't think this is the way to go about things. They're trying to make a buck, and who knows, maybe they plan on releasing this even after making a buck, but that would ruin their organization. But then again, they're hackers, so they're under the guise of anonymity and could just start a new organization. But this would also gain them so much more notoriety. Really tough to tell at this point, guys. I'm going to be trying to go through as much of this as possible and looking at the juicy tidbits if they're out there. And if you guys find any, please, there's my Twitter right there, @JasonBurmas. Follow me. Send me any kind of document that is ringing alarm bells. Reference it so I can go double check on my own. And again, if you guys want to go take a look at these, we're gonna show you where to go again. You want to go to steamit.com / the Dark Overlord. And right there, you're going to find everything they got right here. This page right here. They are putting out blog posts. Each one contains what you need and, where to get your torrent file for the large layered ones. You'll have to figure out the Veracrypt a little bit yourself, but believe me, guys, it's not that tough. And I also want to say this. Be very careful. I'm not responsible if something happens to your computer, Open it in a sandbox, run a virus scan. Nobody knows whether or not these guys are out to get more ransomware and more dirt on other people and how sophisticated they are. But if they're sophisticated enough to make all these hacks, well, I got to tell you, there's a good chance that they could infect your computer as well. Oh, I want to thank you for supporting us. Remember, we are only supported by you guys, so consider becoming a member, making a donation. Please like, share, subscribe to this channel. Get the word out. We just hit over 10K. Thank you so much. I'd love to get to 100K by the end of next year. That would be incredible for this backup channel. And remember, above and beyond, guys, the best thing you can do out there is use discernment, check things out for yourself, and of course, be the change you want to see in the world.